Hello, hello, hello.
Hi everyone.
Hi. So it's almost October.
In the next...
my phone is saying hello.
reminding you that it's almost October.
Thank God, because I have been doing Sober September. I'll be able to have a drink soon, which is exciting. We thought that it might be fun just to take you through 10 October survival tips, because I feel like a lot of us are feeling it at this point. It's like been a long year. Would be nice to maybe try give it up for a month. And if you're not on board with that, then maybe it's just something to listen to learn about what it's like to take a break.
Yeah, or maybe tell a friend.
Yeah, or tell a friend, encourage a friend or whatever. Let's just give some context first as to why we wanted to make this episode. Kim, you quit drinking quite a while ago, and you have found that your life is amazing since.
Yeah.
So we encourage it, especially to those who had a tough time when they were drinking.
Yeah, I mean, I lost about 15 kilograms after quitting drinking.
Yeah, so that's a plus.
Yeah, that was a plus. That wasn't my primary goal. I mean, it just was the after effects. But
yeah, it was one of the perks.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Among many others, of course.
Completely. Like, all those hours that I spent out socializing and drinking were replaced with productivity and actually getting way more value out of my month.
I mean, that's Kim now, you know. She doesn't drink. She's happy with it. You don't find it difficult at all.
In the beginning, I was like, oh my gosh, what am I actually about?
Oh.
You know, I was always in the social scene, but who am I now? And like, how can I recultivate an interesting side of me without the alcohol being
that's so
the supporting part of me being so vibrant or out there.
And you did manage to create that for yourself, obviously.
Oh, yes, definitely cultivated a completely unique transformation.
And why I took a month off? Well, I had just come back from the Luries, which is this very indulgent party event / award ceremony.
For
advertisers. And it had just been a lot. I was obviously drinking a little bit more than I should have been for quite a long period of time. It was a week that I was there. And even when, you know, I decided to go easy, which I did towards the end because I thought, actually, this is too much. You know, there was a lot of drinking that was happening around me, and it just felt like it was all just a lot. I went for a run sort of a week later, and it was quite a long run, and I had like this introspective moment where I was like, you know what? It's almost spring. It's a new beginning. I'm living in this new flat. Why didn't I try something new? And the first thing that came to mind was quitting alcohol for the month. And seeing what it's like just to live a sober life, and seeing if I can do it, and proving to myself that, you know, I don't have to drink. You know, there's so many opportunities to drink all the time, but do I need to take every single opportunity? Maybe not. And I must say it has been wonderful. It has been much easier than I expected. There have been some challenges, of course, especially when, you know, there's maybe a cool social event and everyone's having a lovely glass of wine around you, or it's Friday afternoon and everybody's like, cool, let's go to, you know, there's a bar at our agency and everybody sort of clocks off at about 3:30. I know, 3:30 for God's sake. And goes to the bar to have a drink and just to unwind from the stress of the week. And then you feel like, okay, well, I have to leave, go out the back door now. So there are some times where you're like, oh, but it's more like a sulky, like, oh, than an actual, this is the hardest thing of my life. So I've been lucky in that regard.
And didn't you find that your mind was a lot clearer and more focused during that month?
Yes, completely. I wasn't waking up with massive hangovers a lot, but, you know, you do feel a little bit slower, and sometimes you can feel a little bit depressed because it is a depressive. So I've been having like just really good mornings. Mornings have been my favorite time, which is just so different for me. I have a bit of anxiety around drinking just in general. I'm like, there's something about control. I don't know what it is.
Or being out of control.
Well, it's not so much that, but I need to know exactly like how many drinks I've had, and I need to monitor it and be like, okay, that's too much, and you need a glass of water now. And it gets complex. Like, my mind gets very busy when I start drinking. And it's just like, I don't have to worry about that now because it's just not there.
I mean, I understand with your ad agency on Fridays when you clock off. So one of my maybe tips, if you are going to a social event, I mean, look at ways to mask what you're drinking. So what I would do is I'd replace my glass with a wine glass and put appetizer, which is like an apple fizzy drink that we have in South Africa. And it actually looks like sparkling wine or champagne, and people don't question what you're drinking unless they're offering you a shooter. But you can kind of get around the social scene with masking your drink and not having to reveal what's actually in there.
I actually used that tip on Saturday. it was Andrew's Grand's 90th, which isn't really a time to go and get fucked, but there was some champagne, and I said, can I have some appetizer? And I put it in the flute, and it felt classy, it was cool. So anyway, we're going to give you 10 tips, starting off with Kim's tip, which is
to start with an intention. Maybe it's about giving your body a break for just 30 days. Maybe it's about doing a gut cleansing for 30 days, because sugar is there's quite a lot of sugar in alcohol. So set an intention for yourself, and this will be your guiding compass in completing your game plan.
Yeah. Then, of course, alternative drinks. I've tried quite a few of them because when you're not drinking, you have a lot more time on your hands to experiment and see what else is out there. And so I started going on a mission to try and find the best non-alcoholic drinks, and I must say I tried a few things, and in the end I found something that I make myself, which is just sparkling water with elderflower, which I'm currently drinking now. It's lovely. Really, really was great. I tried some of the alcohol-free wines, and they just tasted like vinegar or grape juice, and it just felt like a waste.
Yeah, waste of calorie.
Yeah. And then but there are some good things out there, and there's obviously some like alcohol-free gin and tonics. I'm not a huge fan. But that's just my taste buds. But Seedlip, Kim, you find that Seedlip's great?
So Seedlip is something that I drink.
I think it's just based in South Africa, or is it international?
No, it's actually a phenomenal global brand.
Oh, okay.
It started, I think, in Sweden. I might be wrong on that. Mm-hmm. But it's all made from botanicals, and there's zero sugar in there, and it's all spices and herbs and aromatics, and you dilute it like you do with a G&T, and I dilute it with sparkling water, and it's honestly phenomenal.
That's lovely. And I mean, I'm starting to notice now, because I wasn't buying wine, I was looking for sober drinks, non-alcoholic drinks, and I was noticing that there are just so many now. Like, you've got your non-alcoholic ciders, there's a Savannah, non-alcoholic Savannahs, there's obviously beers left, right and centre, though you must be careful though, because some beers have something or other of alcohol.
Yeah, they say like it's 0% alcohol, but then you look on the label and it's like 0.03.
Yeah.
And it's not really
non-alcoholic. Yeah, it's not going to get you drunk or anything, but
it's still alcohol though.
Yeah.
I mean, another great one that I saw in Bali was kombucha syrups.
Oh, nice.
So fermented drinks that you dilute into tonics or whatever the case may be.
Nice.
Another one that we thought about was, think of this as a way to make yourself more interesting during the month. For me, I did mention this earlier on, but I felt like the most interesting part of me when I was drinking was the alcohol and me celebrating life with everyone. But I really needed to recultivate that interesting side of me. So what I did is I wanted to develop my creative brain. So I indulged in a lot of fantasy novels and just like redevelop my creative wiring. Mm-hmm. So maybe there's different ways for you to obviously cultivate that creative side in you. Or maybe it's just to kickstart a new summer body.
Yeah,
like take
exactly.
a challenge.
You have more time because you're not just sitting there. Like, because time flies when you're drinking, right? And you just spend hours just doing nothing and sipping away.
Totally, like 4 hours.
Yeah, you can. So now you've got all this extra time. It's like life is just, there's more of it. It's quite interesting. Another one is staying active around the time that you would usually drink. So for example, if you usually feel like wine after work, do something else at that time. What I've started doing is missioning off to the beach. I'm very lucky to live in Cape Town. I guess we can't all do that, but find something that just keeps you busy around the time that you would drink, so that, you know, when you return home or whatever, that time is over, like it's later on now and there's really no point in starting drinking. Otherwise you're just sitting there longing and thinking, oh, I wish I was drinking.
Yeah,
you know?
Keep yourself active. That was the biggest thing for me, replacing my social time that I would be drinking with a yoga class, which is still social. I got to mingle and do a workout, and just felt completely uplifting. So I replaced it with yoga.
Yeah.
Enjoy the power of saying no. This could be a full month that you actually cultivate the self-love process within yourself, and just saying no it's just really empowering. So try practicing that. It's actually,
you get a kick out of it in the beginning. I certainly did. Excuse the nails on the floor. That's Popcorn going to get some water, which is his form of a G&T. So what was I saying now? I'm confused. Where was I?
So you said, saying no in the beginning is quite empowering.
Yeah, so arriving at a party and being like, I'm just going to have my non-alcoholic. No, you know, it is empowering. And, you know, well, actually, that's something that you mentioned to me when we first got deep around the whole alcohol thing. You said, like, your sobriety is empowering. And like that kind of made me, it stuck with me, and it always has, that it's not deprivation, it's empowerment.
Totally.
And my mom is WhatsApp calling me right now. I just need to tell her I'm busy with a podcast.
Maybe she has some tips for us for the pod. So Theo's mom also took up Sober September in preparation for the Ocsober survival guide.
Yeah, she got involved.
The other thing is called Sober Spring Challenge.
Sober Spring Challenge. Oh, is it online?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Popcorn's barking. He can hear your voice.
Oh, Popsy!
Another thing that really helps is using an app like Daybreak, which I downloaded just out of interest, where you can set goals and share or read other people's shares that are also trying to either give up drinking or cut back. It's really, really interesting and helpful. If you don't feel comfortable with joining something like that, you can maybe find a friend and do it with him or her so that you can kind of motivate each other along. It helps to have somebody there to support you and to bitch about the fact that you can't have your favorite wooded Chardonnay on a Saturday afternoon.
And then it's always great to treat yourself to something amazing at the end of the month.
Yeah.
From all the money you've saved.
This isn't great advice for people who are trying to save, but you know, use that money that you didn't on alcohol to buy yourself a new dress or something cool like that, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And then invite your friends to do different kind of social things. If you are used to seeing your friends over a glass of wine, then maybe ask them to go to the beach with you, or to the movies, or hiking, or morning yoga. I sound very Cape Townian, but you know, go for breakfast. There are other ways to see your friends. And yeah, also just on that note of friends, you know, let your friends know that you are not drinking as well, so that they're aware, and they'll also probably want to come to the party and suggest other things to do with you. So that's also important.
Listen to some podcasts.
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
About bettering yourself, self-growth, and even self-improvement, because you're worth it.
Yes, I mean, while you're at it, while you're giving up drink, you may as well. And then exercise, always into exercise whether I drink or not, but just exercise is great because it kind of gives you those endorphins, gives you what alcohol sort of gives you temporarily, but exercise is much more wholesome, long lasting, and you'll feel great.
And it doesn't have a come down.
No, that's the perk. And then Kim was mentioning when we were talking about this earlier that try CBD oils. You don't have to necessarily go for the ones with the THC in that make you high, because maybe you're wanting to be completely sober for the month. But there are some nice oils out there that just relax you.
Yeah, some aromatherapy even.
Yeah.
Put that on your pillow. It's a great way to just relax and get into yourself.
Yeah. And then of course yoga. I mean, you always feel amazing after yoga. It's just a cure for everything. So if it's something you've never tried or something you haven't been practicing in a while, then maybe this is your opportunity.
It's important also to remember that, you know, this is like not forever.
But it could be. It could be. You might also find that it's a new way of life for you, and it's something that you want to continue doing, which is also cool. It might sound intimidating, but it really isn't.
30 days goes by quite quickly.
And if you do really struggle, that's fine. You know that there is support out there for you. These apps are incredible. Daybreak is so good. And then of course, talk to someone.
Yeah, and if you slip up once, like, forgive yourself and carry on with the journey. It's about how you start and how you get back up and completing.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because you know, sometimes you might. And I know when Ocsober when I first heard about Ocsober, I heard about it on the radio. Gareth Cliff was doing it, and his Ocsober was, he wasn't drinking, but if he did end up drinking, every drink that he had, he would donate 50 Rand to charity. So it was like
penalties. Yeah,
it would be a penalty thing. If you feel like that's going to work for you better, then don't put too much pressure on yourself and see how it goes.
Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy your Ocsober.
Yes.
If you have participated in Ocsober and you've used our guide, let us know how it was.
Yes.
And what you enjoyed.
Cool. So, we'll probably post a few more tips on our Instagram, so follow us there. It's @prettylonely_pod. Anyway, it's been lovely chatting to you, and I hope you enjoyed listening, and
all the best for Ocsober.
All the best. Party hard. Bye.